Hello. How is everyone? Are all the things working? Well, that's working. What's up, Alex? Good to see you. How was your week? Congratulations on 22 times. Only slightly broken. Did it play the sound effects for you? I forgot to look at the bar to check. Are they working? Okay, good. I wanted to release my castmate update this morning, and I'm glad I did a few checks because I discovered a few bugs that would have been real bad to push out. And I had an idea. So Fable's OP, his add schedule triggers weren't running, and I had an idea to fix that. So I've put that in, but I'm not sure if it works, and the only way to test it is to be live with ads. So we're running a slight bit of an ad experiment today. So, you know, nothing can go smooth. We can't have a release on time. 2 hours late. Oh my god. I don't know where the time went. Because I got up to like prepare for stream at like 6. And then a bunch of question marks, and now it's like 9. So who knows? We're going to be doing a bit of an experiment. Well, I had a bunch of cheese left over from the souffle, and I don't want the cheese to just go bad in the fridge, because that seems like a waste of some perfectly good cheese. And I'm not just going to munch down on a gigantic block of cheese throughout the workday. So I thought, you know, we would try another cheese and chocolate experiment. This is an artist rendering. I took normal chocolate chip cookies and just tinted them orange. Because I found one cheese website that was like, you should make a cheese and chocolate chip cookie. But other than that, could not find anyone who's attempted this shenaniganry. Seen cheesecake cookies, but never like Cheez-It. So, you know, we're gonna see what happens. I don't have a recipe written down. We're gonna make this one up. This is gonna be a bit of an experiment. So I'm thinking we will start with the standard chocolate chip recipe, which is normally 2 sticks of butter, but we'll sub in cheese for butter. And because this butter is 78 to 80% fat, and this is only like 38% fat, we might have to like add some oil or something to like come up in fat percentage. I don't know. It's hard to tell. My plan is to start making the dough and see what it looks like, and then go from there. Which isn't a strong plan, admittedly, but I wasn't sure where to start with this analytically. So we're gonna wing it. It's gonna be full wingding. We just made a whole chunk of cheese. Start at the beginning. What's up, Quartertron? All right, we'll start at the beginning. Let me put this away. What are we doing today? We're going to make possibly this unholy being. What's up, Emiliana? So I had a bunch of cheese left over from the souffle, and I didn't want it to go bad in the fridge. Thank you for cutting me off. I had a bunch of cheese left from the souffle, and I didn't want it to go bad in the fridge, and I was unlikely to just eat 2 gigantic blocks of cheese. There's a second one in the fridge. Yeah. Should have seen that coming. So, but we made a chocolate and cheese souffle, which tasted pretty good. I enjoy eating Cheez-Its and chocolate chips together, so I thought, why not try something possibly cursed, a cheddar and chocolate chip cookie. And this is not a picture of a cheddar and chocolate chip cookie. This is a chocolate chip cookie that I edited the colors of because I could not find anyone who has tried this. So we are firmly in weird territory. This could be a new Red Lobster dessert. It could. It could also turn out horribly because we're kind of making this recipe up a little bit, much like I had to do for the souffle. No one's done this. Or that's not true. I found one recipe for a cheese and chocolate chip cookie from a cheesemonger website. And I was like, well, they have vested interest in selling some cheese. Theirs did not use yellow cheese and did not have a fun Cheez-It-like color. So, you know,
I'm in danger.
Didn't pay too close of attention to that. We are definitely in danger. So I'm just gonna wing it a little bit. We're gonna start with our regular chocolate chip recipe, which is the one from Bon Appetit. That normally has toffee in it, the brown butter, that thing. But we're gonna start by substituting part of the butter for cheese. This won't necessarily work 1-to-1 because butter is about 80% fat, or at least this butter is. And this is about 38% fat. Crunchy
sure.
macaroni.
I'm afraid we need to use math.
So what does that come out to? I don't know. There's some moisture levels at play here. I'm also thinking it should have like less sugar than like the regular one. So we're gonna be making it up. What's up, Atlas? Anato? Cochineal? I don't know either of those words, and thus do not understand the reference / joke. I am uncultured, a fool, a buffoon, an idiot. Please educate me. Oh! Oh, that'd be good. I did see a few like cheddar shortbreads, but they all used like cheddar powder or like cheese powder. Um, which I think, could be good because sometimes that like artificial cheese flavor is just like what you want. That fake cheese on popcorn, pretty good. But since I have this giant block of cheese left over, we're gonna anger some culinary deities and see what happens. And I think there's no better place to start than grating some of this as small as possibly can be. What's up, Zero? Is this rancid? Is this bad? Did it go bad?
Oh no.
No. That's cheddar. It's just stinky cheese. What's up, Zizarino? We're committing war crimes in here. That's what we're doing. Listen, I like Cheez-Its and chocolate chips. All right, so it stands to reason if you make a Cheez-It cookie and shove chocolate chips in there, it's gonna be pretty good. And if it isn't, I'll at least use up my spare cheese. How much cheese is this? That's the question. Where? Did I wash? I did. That's the one I want. How much did we get? Let's see, 9 ounces in grams. That's 27.25 times 9. What is that? Someone with a calculator. Either way, it's under because we're just over 100 grams.
I'm not sure. I'm afraid we need to use math.
All right, we're up to 103. A stick of butter is 113. So we'll just grate a little bit more. Right? I really, really, really want to find a Bluetooth kitchen scale so I could like have the scale amount like on the screen. And like we could do like prediction stuff. Possibly. If I was organized enough. But the state of Bluetooth scales. It does have unit buttons. Is that 3.65 ounces? We're going to get up to 4 because we're aiming for 113. Oh, overshot! Overshot! I also would like a scale that goes point in like sub-grams, you know? Because I have a separate scale for when I need to measure out just like 2 grams of something, you know? Like, can't we just have one scale? Doesn't that... Do we have that technology in 2025 to put it in one box? And then you go and you, if you're crazy like me, you go and you Google it. And you're like, has anyone figured out how to do this? And the answer is yes. They have laboratory grade scales that can do it. So they cost way more. They're like $250. But they're also not Bluetooth or battery powered. So, you know, life is tough. I have seen the like 2-in-1 combo scale situation. I haven't seen anyone put like Bluetooth on it in a satisfying way. So I don't know. Maybe it's an electronics project in my future. Build myself the perfect connected stream connected scale. There's a right. There's a few. There's at least one open like food scale that I've seen. Um, but I forget what I didn't like about it. I was trying to remember what I read in the It was either abandoned or like didn't do what I wanted. It's a problem. I just want to put the number on the screen and only have one. Asking too much of the world, clearly. Cast-made official hardware. Oh man. I'd have to like figure out how you get like printed circuit boards and stuff. What's up, Rusty? How are you? I need keyboard here. You also check out Rusty. OG food and drink streamer. Oh, we're doing all right. We're possibly committing war crimes. We are attempting to make a cheddar and chocolate chip cookie. I love how the Shopify thing sort of just leaves out where the products come from. They're like, you could make a store. I'm like, sure, I can make the storefront. Yeah, it's definitely deep. There's that like old XKCD comic about like automations in time. While it's not an automation, it's definitely deep off the chart in wasted time. Yeah, me too. Me too. These are things. Okay, so context. Well, first of all, last month, February, was the souffle challenge for Kitchen Gladiators. Exclamation point KG. I want the little guy to pop up. There we go. And I did a half chocolate, half cheese marbled souffle where I like stuck the two together. And I ended up with a bunch of leftover cheese. So I didn't want the cheese to go bad. And the impetus for that is in college, I would eat Cheez-Its and chocolate chips together as like a little snack. Like if I was going to go study. And it's actually really good. So I had this block of cheese left and some chocolate chips. And I was like, I wonder if we can get the Cheez-It and chocolate chip into a single cookie. Because while my souffle looked great, it was a little bit low on cheese flavor. This is not the brown bread. This is our unholy nightmare of cheddar and chocolate chip cookies. Then spoon cookie dough right on the cheese, sploot, and bake it again. That's a possibility. It could. So my plan right now is to start by subbing one of the butter, one of the sticks of butter for cheddar. So stick of butter, this American style butter, 80% butter fat, like 80% butter fat, like 19% moisture, and like 1% milk solids, proteins and stuff. Cheddar is around 38% fat. I forget what the percent of moisture is, but definitely less fat in the cheddar than there is in the butter, right? So we're gonna have sort of a weird dough going into this. But my plan is to start by creaming the butter, the cheese, and some sugar, because I want a little less sugar, because I feel like it should be less sweet to like lean in towards the Cheez-It, because Cheez-Its don't have any sugar. But I do want sugar. It's a cookie. I don't want this to be a savory affair. So it needs some sugar. It needs some butter. We're making it up. We're YOLOing. We're going to see where we get today. This might be stream 1 of a few. And I saw some like cheddar based like shortbreads. A lot were just using like cheese powder instead of like actual cheese. So we're kind of on our own with this one. But I'm feeling good after I totally invented a souffle recipe based on a bunch of other souffle recipes. So, we might go 2 for 2. But we'll see. We will see. So normal chocolate chip recipe is 227 grams of butter. This is 113 grams of butter, 113 grams of cheese, plus or minus 1 gram in there, because my scale ain't accurate. We haven't built the perfect scale yet. I don't even know if like the cheese and the butter are gonna like come together. That's the other thing. Like, are we just gonna end with like fragments of cheese like in the butter, or will we end up with like butter cheese? Will we have to get out like an immersion blender to like really Now the question is butter and cheddar together cheddar or better? I've never had apple pie with like the slice of cheese on it, but I've heard about it. I don't know. I don't think I'm as crazy for pairing cheese and chocolate together as it first seems, because if you Google it, there are like cheese and chocolate people that like do pairings and stuff, and they're like pairing funky cheeses and funky chocolates together in these like super fancy things. Now, am I doing that? No, I'm doing like basic cheddar. Yeah. All right, so I think that came together pretty well. There's still some like specks of cheese in there. It looks pretty uniform on the camera, I feel like, but there are streaks of cheese. So now we got to decide how much sugar to put in this potential nightmare. I'm going to scrape this down. Okay, it's definitely stiffer than butter. It's like some sort of terrible cheese dip. It's actually probably not that bad. It's cheddar and butter. What's up, robot? How are you? All right, let's put some sugar in here. So the other recipe, uh-oh. Am I out of brown sugar? I'm out of brown sugar. I guess we're Adam Ragusiing it with some molasses. That's all right. Oh yeah, I saw, I can't remember if it was in your Discord or on Blue Sky. You weren't feeling very well. I'm sorry, man. That sucks. I narrowly dodged the flu. There's a meetup I help host slash go to a lot, and I was really busy like 2 weeks ago, and I didn't go to the meetup. And basically everyone else got the flu because they went to that particular meetup. Someone came with the flu and got everyone sick. Oh, RSV. Shit. Yeah. Sorry to hear you're not feeling well. That shit sucks. Unfortunately, it did mean I had to be the MC for the follow-up event. Please be sure to cover my cutting board in sugar. I ended up being the MC for the follow-up event because everyone else was sick, and due to a technical mess up, we did not have the slides. So I had to I was like up there in front of everyone, being like, "Thank you for coming to the event," and that information. And my stupid brain, emptied out, devoid. Like might as well have been meditating, obtained enlightenment, empty. In front of everyone. It was spectacular. What percent do we make brown sugar with? Brown sugar, molasses ratio. 1 to 2 tablespoons. Could you give it to me in weight? God dang it. We're trying to do science here. Oh, okay. So around 6.5% molasses. That doesn't seem right. That seems low. So the normal chocolate chip recipe has 215 grams of brown sugar and 73 grams of regular sugar. I think we just cut out the 73 grams of regular sugar and go so that it's like slightly less sweet and some like half and half, like half brown, half white, which would make 105 grams brown sugar. So, like a tablespoon of molasses. Do you think the cheese will add or take away from the sugar? What's up, Sally? My fear is if it's too sweet, like it won't feel like a Cheez-It. Man pun. I'm fed up with this hair. I'm getting a haircut this week. I went to the ATM. I got the cash because they're cash only. I'm fed up. I can't take it anymore. It's all windy outside. I'm walking down the street and my hair is like blowing like this and I can't see where I'm going. Let's just start with 200 grams, which is roughly 1 cup of white sugar. Here, a castmate hat. I should get a castmate hat. I feel like I don't look good in hats. Like, I'm not wearing the hat's wearing me type situation. What's up, Apex? All right, how much? Let's see, 6. If that random Google result, notably not that garbage AI it has at the top of the page, said 6% for 100 grams, so that'll be 6.5 grams. We'll see what that looks like. If I can get in. Hello? There we go. Damn molasses. What does that look like? Okay. Whoever said 6% is off their rocker. I'm going to go 20 grams. Why did I not set the camera up for this? What have I done? You missed it all. I'm not very good at this whole streaming thing. You missed the shot. What's wrong with me? A fool. Let's see what this looks like once we mix it together. It was not the smooth mix I thought it would be. It's actually kind of unappetizing looking. You want to share a terrible fun historic fact. We might have actually put 20 grams might have been too much. I wanted to see how brown this was. Like, were we past light brown into dark brown? I think we're still in light brown territory. Well, I think this is just what we go with. I don't think it's all the way to dark. It's definitely not dark. I think we're like at light brown or a little shy of it. At 20 grams of molasses to 100 grams of sugar. Hard to tell with all the clumps, but those will come out when whipped. Transit back to this camera. That's good. Teenagers started a massive riot, plural, massive riots in the 20s over straw hats. We haven't put any eggs in yet. Also, Target had eggs again, and they were only $7 a dozen. I'm sure that will change. Oh wait, this was 200 grams. So it was 200 grams for, this is 10%, not 10%, because that would be 90 and 10. We're at like 8% molasses. How does math work? 220 grams total. What's up, Cake? Yep, we're making cursed cookies today. Or cool, who knows? I mean, eggs are perishable, right? So like, all right, so we'll give Cake the story. We'll give Cake the full story. Okay. Well, first of all, this is slightly fancy cheddar. This is a smoked cheddar from New York State. So, full story. Last month, of course, was February, was the souffle labyrinth challenge, exclamation point KG. If you would like to become a kitchen gladiator and or participate in the March challenge, which is brown bread, Irish brown bread. Thank you. And so for February, I did a half chocolate, half cheese souffle, and I had a lot of cheese left over. And it was cool. It was marbled. It turned out well, but there was not enough cheese flavor in it. And the impetus for that decision was partially that I couldn't decide whether or not to do a chocolate souffle or a cheese souffle. And also, I think Cheez-Its and chocolate chips are an underrated snack. I would put them together in college if I was going to study. That was my little bag of trail mix that I would go to the library with. So this, the souffle and this are attempts at bringing that into a different form. So that's why we're doing a cheddar and chocolate chip cookie. I had cheddar left over, and I think cheddar and chocolate go well together. So that's what we're doing. And thank you for the lurk when on that stream. I was stressed. It was a stressful stream. This one's a little stressful since we're making it up. I could not find any recipe reference for what we're doing here. So far we've just subbed cheese for one of the sticks of butter, because there's normally 2 sticks of butter. I've put 1 stick of butter in and then put a sub by weight of cheese in. And so far, it's definitely stiffer, right? There's less fat in the cheese than there is in butter. So normally at this stage, the butter normally it's melted butter. I didn't want to brown the butter and potentially overpower the cheese. So, we'll work up to a browned butter cheddar cookie. It didn't. Is it taste test? Let's see where we're at. What's happening? What's broken? Did Twitch break something or did I break something? Are people able to click on usernames to see when people follow the channel and their badges? I can't. Okay, it's Twitch. It's not me. I didn't do it. I almost released a broken castmate update today, but I didn't. So, I'm doing my job. Twitch, get it together. Figure it out. Figure it out, Twitch. Wasn't me. So the good news is it still tastes like cheese. We haven't lost the cheese. I still think there's a touch too much molasses. The 20 grams of molasses to the 200 grams of white sugar, too much molasses. Go down from 20 to 10 for future note. Maybe none at all. But I feel like you need molasses, otherwise it's like not gonna be cookie-like. You know what I'm saying? Needs. All right, but eggs. We're just gonna copy the 2 eggs that go in the normal chocolate chip and see what happens. This is a see what happens thing. It famously was not shaggy. Okay? There's a whole song about it. And if anyone knows, you can't lie in a song. Maybe the cheese would make up the softness. I'm inclined to think no. Just because there's less fat in the cheese than there is butter, but I don't know. We're so far out. We're flying in uncharted space here. If it rhymes, it's true. If it's in a song, it's true. Yeah, it's true. Thank you. You know, we might discover like a fantastic new cookie. And, you know, maybe we'll like reframe this for some like TikTok nonsense. Because I feel like if you nail like the perfect radioactive orange Cheez-It color, like you can get some of those rage clicks on off the internet. You know, like, oh, cheese and chocolate. It's like clickbait a cookie. You'll get to cook in that New York Times video kitchen they've got.
To the internet, have a look around.
It's already working. What's up, crazy? Thank you for clicking on my clickbait. That will hopefully not be clickbait, but we are making up the recipe. Like this is an experiment. They might come on, focus. Autofocus. I'll just have to put my head here. This might go terribly. Because I couldn't find a recipe. No one's done this. So we're giving it a go. Damn, focus. Don't focus on this. This doesn't need to be in focus. This does. Unbelievable. It does slightly concern me that the mixture is a little broken. I don't know if you can see on the camera. It might sort of come through. There we go. You can kind of see. It's not as homogeneous as one would like. But when we add flour, it'll probably be fine. Knock on wood. Is there any wood in shot? There we go. Knock on wood. Better over here. There we go. I am going to scrape down the paddle because there's some like little bits of cheese and stuff up there that could get mixed in. But so far, it's remarkably similar to regular chocolate chip dough. So, you know, I'm keeping faith here. We have to believe. We must. Okay. Let's contemplate our flour situation next. I don't think the Jedi Council would be too happy with us. We're toiling with powers that shouldn't be messed with. It's the cautionary tale after Darth Plagueis. First it's life extension, and then it's like cheese and chocolate. We can't put those together. And there's nothing in between. Those two right next to each other. Where are we? Fine, I'll use this one. All-purpose flour. Oh, I need less hair. I have too much of it. It's everywhere. All right, so 250 grams. That's what the regular one is. I feel like we should add not all at once, in case the change in fat level, changes the story a bit. So let's get this dialed into 250 exactly. So if we can write down what we end up using. These are a brand called Progressive. Not to be confused with, I think, the insurance company or the soup company. But I got them on Amazon like years ago. And they are great containers. I will note the scoop I got separately. The scoops I got in my stocking Christmas ago. But they do come with these like little scoopy things that attach into the top of the container. And they are great. The candy company that makes soup flavored candy. Oh, what? Is the soup company Progressive, or is it like Progresso or something like that? Progresso. Thank you, Crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Canned soup isn't worth it. I haven't bought canned soup in a long time. Can I tie it in a bun? I'm not sure it'll like achieve bun. Why, do you want me to keep it going until we get to bun status? Is that what the goal is? I can get to like little tiny top knot. Oh. Is there a way to keep going towards Bundum, but like get it straightened out so that I'm not looking like some sort of Yeti? Because I feel like I'm approaching Bigfoot and or Yeti territory. I just read Friendly Friend. Damn it. All right. And then we need our baking soda and salt situation. I do think I normally use less salt in these, but I feel like since we're aiming for like sort of Cheez-It territory, Cheez-Its are a salty snack, so we should probably put extra salt in. They should lean salty. And I normally don't even measure, I just like pour some. So what do we get? That's only like 2-ish grams, so let's just do that twice. We'll do a little bit more. A little bit extra. Call that. Salty as my opinions. there's our salt. Why am I just dump that in? That doesn't need to. Little salty. And then our baking soda. How much baking soda? 1 teaspoon. Where's our baking soda? Are you my baking soda? No, you're the flaky salt. We need that for later. You're the baking soda. Yeah, they seem to have expanded since when I first bought them. All right. Also, do you think we should throw vanilla in here? My worry is, well, on one hand, vanilla is delicious. On the other hand, I worry that putting vanilla will detract from the cheddar. I've never had a cheddar bay biscuit with chocolate, so I have no idea. But I have a feeling that it being a biscuit, maybe make 2 batches. Floral cheese. I'm gonna go without vanilla. We can like mix in some later if we bake it and it tastes terrible. I don't want to add too many variables to the situation. You know what I'm saying? We're already tempting fate. So I think I'll leave vanilla to not vanilla to be an experiment for later. And we'll just leave it out for now. My worry is if I scoop some out into a ramekin, I will have to... I don't know how many total grams I have in here, so then if I want to keep my flour quantity consistent between the two, then I'm going to have to do extra math to figure out what that is. And I should, at some point, just weigh the bowl, because I don't know how many grams the bowl is. So I could just like weigh the whole bowl and subtract the bowl cost, but I've never weighed the bowl, so I have no idea how much the bowl is. That's the wrong command for that situation. You're looking for exclamation point math, frankly. That's the one you're looking for. There's the ads. I was waiting for those. Fear not, we won't do the great combining until after the ad is done. I worry about the accuracy of weight bowl to bowl. Like, the bowl is probably close to like 800 grams. And I feel like the variation in number of grams in the bowl will be quite large in comparison to the amount that we will be scooping out, making the error quite large. Error. Yeah, that one. Yeah, we got captions during the ads, so you can see what I'm saying. How's it going, Serenity? Am I still out of focus? I feel like I'm out of focus. Technically, the captions are always available for the depth. Depth is the word I wanted. technically the captions are always available for the deaf. The little closed caption button down there-ish should be able to toggle those on. What's up, Halsgar? Okay, context for Serenity and Halsgar, since they've just arrived. Last month was, of course, February, and February was for the monthly culinary challenge that we do called the Labyrinth Souffle Month. And I did a marbled cheese and chocolate souffle. So I like mixed the two together, and they got like, and it was cool, and it turned out well. Unfortunately, the cheese flavor wasn't as strong as I wanted. So context on that decision, which already seems insane, a cheese and chocolate souffle. When I was in college, I would eat Cheez-Its and chocolate chips together as like sort of like a little trail mix. And it was what I would take to go when I went studying to like the library or whatever. You know, you'd make a little bag of Cheez-Its and chocolate chips, and they're pretty good together. So my thought was, because I had a bunch of cheese left over from the souffle that I did not want to go bad, why not shove them into a cookie? So that's what we're attempting. Now this isn't a picture of cheese and chocolate chip cookies. These are normal chocolate chip cookies that I edited to be more orange. Salty and sweet does work. Can we merge it into a cookie? I don't know. But we're trying. So, what have we done so far? We're making my regular chocolate chip cookie recipe. That's what we're flying into the unknown, is what we're doing.
Welcome to the internet. Have a look around.
It is a painfully American. I will give you that much, Kiki. The only way this could be any more apropos is if I was in Wisconsin. Yes, so what we have here is I've subbed out of my normal chocolate chip cookie recipe. Instead of 2 sticks of butter, we've done 1 stick of butter and then 1 stick's worth of butter in cheese, which is 113 grams of cheese. So we have 113 grams of butter, 113 grams of cheese. Normally, it's close to 300 grams of sugar, but because Cheez-Its are sort of a salty snack, they have no, like the actual Cheez-Its have no sugar in them. We've gone down to just over a cup of sugar at 220 grams of sugar / molasses. I didn't have any brown sugar, so we did 200 grams of white sugar, 20 grams of molasses, and then of course 2 eggs, because that's like the normal recipe. And this is pretty close to the consistency that we would have normally for chocolate chips. So now we've come to the flour dilemma. Cheddar is around 38% fat. American style butter is around 80% fat. So subbing out 1 stick of butter for the same weight of cheese obviously gets us less fat. So there might be a need for less flour. So I've scooped up the same amount of flour we would normally put in our regular chocolate chips, but we're not going to add it all at once in case it starts getting too like stiff. Like we don't want to make like bread dough. We're still looking for cookie. So we're going to go in, which the normal amount is 250 grams, which is like a little under 2 cups of flour. Depends on who you ask and how much they say 1 cup of flour is in grams. I always use 136 grams. Okay, we definitely can add more flour to that. Cornstarch is a good idea because then we won't get that gluten in there. You know, we might need that in like attempt 2 if these come out too stiff.